Hi there, guys. Talk about a book that's hard to review. There is so many moving pieces on this one, and so many concepts that make you think, like entitlement, race, genocide, and also there's lots of things going on, like shamans, gods, training, militia, war. And I have to say that this amazing book has almost destroyed me while I was reading it. And as you can see, it's the Poppy War by R.F. Kuang, and I have to say that I did love this book to pieces. It's for me, it's been quite the book, and but that I mean that how to put into words. For me, it's been like this heavy book because there is a lot of things going on, and not only the moving pieces I was talking before, but all these concepts of power, entitlement, race, genocide, obliteration of those who are different. And it's a book that really reaches out of its pages and strangles you, because there's lots of things that make you think and makes you feel what the characters are feeling. And I remember I was nearing the end of the book and I was thinking that once I finish this book, I'm going to read something easy, something where no one dies and there's not so many blood and so many things that, And truth be told, I did finish this one and I picked the second one in the trilogy, The Dragon Republic, because I just couldn't let it go. It's a book that has this ability to suck you into its pages, and you don't want to go away until you have learned everything you can about the characters and the story. So we're going to be following our main character. It's a girl called Rin, and she comes from a very abusive home. She's a war orphan, and she's living in a home where she's being used. Since she was very little, she has been taught how to take care of things, how to do, numbers, and she has been used as a opium dealer by her aunt. And so when she's presented with the chance of marrying up to old man who likes young girls, she's like, okay, that's enough. I don't want this life for me. So she decides that she wants to take a test. And this test can be the way for her to just run away, leave everything that she doesn't like behind, and begin a new life in Sinegard, in this academy where they train the new militia. And she succeeds and she goes to Sinegard. And I did love this feeling that she had inside of herself, where she was telling herself, I did it. I'm leaving all of this behind. I got a new chance at life. I'm going to, to do everything that I wanted. And at the same time that she is afraid, because it's a big change, for her. And when she arrives at Sinegard, she's like, it's more of the same. They are judging me because my skin is brown. Well, they are more white because they don't have to labor under the sun, and they are this pampered bunch of people. And I had to fight to get my place in here. They have this entitlement. This is my place. This is where I belong, and you're an outsider. And I love that. I love that you can empathize with her so much. If you had ever been bullied, if you have ever felt like you don't fit anywhere, and if you had to face yourself against people with this kind of entitlement of thinking, okay, you are here but you don't belong because this is mine, because I have this very right and you have nothing. If you have felt any of all of those things, you will empathize with Rin. And I love when she gets thrown to the floor and she's like, okay, but I'm going to get up, and she gets up and she keeps on fighting. I love that spirit that she has, that she wants to prove the world that she is that she's worthy, that she's going to succeed, even if it's going to take her more to prove that she belongs there, but she's going to do that, and I love that. And I think also that she's a very relatable character in the way in which all her feelings get in the way, and the way in which she deals with everything. She comes from a place where she had nothing, where she has always been mistreated, and she gets to be into this dream place that she has imagined like it will be, and suddenly she sees that it's an extension of her life, and so she has to, as I say, to prove that she belongs. And she begins to have all these feelings inside of her of rage, of why I have to prove time and time again that I have the same right as everyone else to be here. And this rage is going to be inside of her. And I think that also is very relatable in the way that I love that she's not a perfect character, far from it. I love how she has these bouts of rage, of madness, and then she wants to punch someone, and she wants, and I love, because she's a very believable character, because if all this shit, was being thrown at her and she didn't react like that, like wanting to punch someone, wanting to, to prove like, I hate you and I rage, I wouldn't believe her. And I love how consistent she is. And sometimes it's like, oh my God, what are you doing? But you understand where she's coming from, and you understand all her evolution and all the things that are coming to her, and And I don't want to say much more about the plot of the book. Let's say that she remains in this academy, and she's going to find some people who are going to befriend her. There's this guy called Kitai, and he's like an encyclopedia, because he knows, like, he reads the book and he retains everything into his head. And he's going to befriend her. And I love this friendship they have, and I love that through this friendship, Rin learns of other ways of living, and she reflects about this idea: only if I had been born inside this house, I will have all this money, I will have all these opportunities, I will have all these chances. But by an accident of birth, I was born in another place, and I don't have any of all of this. And it makes you think about, as I say, about entitlement and about the power that some people have just because, they were born in one place and not in another one. And that makes you think about lots of things. She's going also to have this enemy called Neza. Neza comes from a place of power. He is a very high-born member of society, so it's like everyone has to kneel in front of him, and she is punished for things that she's done. He's not punished or punished like, okay, don't do that again, And I love how this character keeps on evolving, and I love the contrast that these characters offer to Rin. You have this guy from a very high place, you have this another guy from another high place that talks with her, and she can see, as I say, all these accidents of birth that come from power, entitlement, and all of that. And also we are going to find another guy who, I'm not going to say the name, but is a very powerful member of an exterminated race. And yeah, I loved that character, and I loved everything that came with him. And I love that the author put this race called the Sperlings, and I didn't love that he killed them all, but I love that it makes you think about genocide and about sometimes people, when you are in a war, it's something that we are going to read in this book. Other people think of them as numbers. They don't think of them as people. And also it's like they're just pawns that you can move. And if they had to exterminate a whole race that they thought were inferior, it's okay, because they're inferior. And that really hurts you and makes you think that it's very unfair. And this is going to be a very heavy topic that's going to be present in all the first book and in the second one as well. I haven't finished the second one, so I cannot say, but I love that it makes you think about how these people in power use other people as I say, as pawns, and move them and kill them and exterminate. And there's people in power who think of other people as only numbers, and it has no consequence if they are killed. All of that. There's lots of things about this book. I mean, it's a very raw book. It hurts. There's moments in which you are hurt inside when you're reading it. Also, I can say that it has lots of parallelisms to China, as you can say here. It also says it parallels with modern China history. And I have to say that I love that it makes you think about all of those concepts, as I said. But also it has a lot of fantasy elements. We're going to have this concept of shamans who have this communication with gods, and gods can use shamans as conduits to use their power. And I love that we have this metaphysical fate thing thrown in the book, because it also makes you think about the universe and the god inside and your own universe against the real or bigger one or whatever you want to call God or universe. And I love that we have this character of Rin who is going to be thrown into the path of shamanism, and I love how she's going to have two different teachers and how different the teachings are going to be from one teacher and another one. And I think that's also very important, because depending on the person who is teaching you, who's talking to you, you can see the world from one point of view or from another point of view. And I think it's very important in constructing the character that Rin is going to be. And I'm talking a lot, and I don't know if I'm making justice to this book, because it's so amazing that I feel like wherever I say, it's not going to cover not even an inch of how fantastical this book was. I mean, if you like books that are like this blood-soaked epic fantasy with shamanism and with gods and with characters who are going to be making you think about entitlement and race and prejudice and genocide, and if you like books that are going to be very heavy when it comes to war battles, it's going to be, and you're going to suffer with the characters, and the way in which it reflects everything, how it affects the characters. I think it's very real, because there are times in which they cannot cope with everything they're seeing around them, all this carnage, all this violence, all of that, and they just, they suffer from stress and post-traumatic stress, and they feel like crying, they feel like raging. And I think every word inside this book can resonate with you in a very powerful manner. So I will recommend this book to you. Thank you for watching. Bye.